What is up, everybody? Good to see you. I'm wearing the party shirt tonight. Hope you noticed. I don't know. Just thought I'd switch it up. Missed you guys. I know you love it when I wear the party shirt. Things get a little crazier. Ask my wife. No, don't ask my wife, actually. It probably brings back bad memories for her. But yeah, we're doing it live on this Sunday night, April 28th, 2024. Please pop in the chat. We will get to your questions and comments, ASAFP, and hopefully we'll have some entertainment for you tonight. I have no idea where the show is going to go. We're going to focus on the draft with my limited draft knowledge, basically. So before we get to that, though, we got to bring in our guy, Tyvis, and Tyvis will welcome you and make you feel all warm and fuzzy. I know he does me. No, he doesn't do me, but like he makes me warm and fuzzy.
Gross.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Tyvis Powell,
loud,
former
Tyvis.
Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
Yes, sir. I will get them. So I heard Shawn pop in.
What's up?
You going through any issues at home that I should be aware of?
Beyond my normal issues? No.
What is normal anymore? Who's to say? I'm not judging. Anyway, Jeff will not be joining us for the third week in a row. Just keeping score. I think that's important. So hopefully we'll see him again soon. We're going to take a couple weeks off after this week, though, and kind of recharge our batteries because, well, at least my batteries. I don't know if anybody else needs to recharge anything. I know. Plus, there's not a lot to talk about. We will get to your questions and comments in the chat, I promise. We're going to talk draft. Shawn was at the draft, right, Shawn?
Kinda, yeah. Sorta.
Draft adjacent?
Yes, draft adjacent.
All right. Well, Shawn's going to give us a full report on what it was like to be near the draft, if not in it. He obviously did not walk on stage and receive a jersey and hug Roger Goodell. Did you? Did you do that?
I mean, it got a little foggy there Friday night, but I don't think so.
You might have slipped something in his drink, huh? Yeah. Good call. Then take some selfies. Then use that for blackmail. Good call. That's what I would do.
Get in on his racket. Yeah, I'd love to.
Makes a nice little paycheck, doesn't he?
He does. For being two steps behind everything.
And hated by everyone in the country. Except the owners, obviously, of
right.
the NFL teams.
The owners appreciate his service.
Yeah.
They all seem to be all making a bunch of money. He's not making money because he isn't making those guys money. You know, he's like, all right, you be the whipping boy. We'll pay you handsomely.
One whip washes the other or something like that. I think that's how the saying goes. But yeah, folks, hey, pop in thebuckeyecast.com. Check out all the gear. Check out the video vault. So running up, we got well over 300 videos, no commercials, all Buckeye content. We got your recruiting videos for the 2025 class. I'm updating that this week with the recent offers that have gone out. A bunch of new dudes are being offered, and your Buckeye highlights, your legends, you know, your Jack Tatums, you got Rose Bowls from the 60s, a bunch of condensed games, all the legends videos. I know there's some guys I'm missing. I just need to figure out who they are, because everybody has different favorite players that they enjoyed watching. So tonight we're going to be kind of draft focused. Henry, I don't know if you have a lot of background on any of these draft picks. I don't at all. So yours will probably be more than mine.
Well, I'm not the biggest NFL guy, but I paid attention to this draft more than I have any in the last decade.
Okay. What do you think about Michigan getting 13 people drafted? Not the 20 that Hairball.
Yeah, predicted. I know. And they were gonna. What is the record? 16 or 17?
15.
What's the record?
15.
15.
Yeah.
And what's our highest? 14.
14. Yeah.
It's frankly impressive. But if you look at it, they had obviously JJ go high, and then I think one guy in the second round, maybe two in the second round, and then everybody else are kind of fillers. I still think it's a testament that, hey, these are NFL quality guys that are probably high character and good ability. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to see it. That means 13 dudes that were pretty good that beat us the last couple of years are gone, frankly.
Yeah. Along with cheating. Don't forget that. Stallions assisted. Yeah.
Sure that.
Yeah. So my question for the chat, I just popped it in there, is will Ohio State break the record for most draft picks in 2025? Let me know what you guys think.
I got some thoughts.
And we will get to your thoughts. First, though, we gotta talk about this 2024 draft that just took place. I'm seeing things about Jahad Carter getting in the transfer portal. Is that real? Is that a problem? Does anybody care?
He can't. What? He came in with already a few years under his belt, right? How much eligibility has he got?
Should just be one more year. Yeah, here we go. Safety Jahad Carter reported by On3. Played in 8 games. No, he did not. He did not play in 8 games this year. What the fuck?
He might on special teams and stuff.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess. Anyways, so he's in the portal. Seemed like he was dinged up. He's dealt with a lot of injuries since he came in.
Well, how much time does he have left? Because
just 1 year.
I mean, next year though, that whole freaking position group's moving out probably.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a huge
except for Caleb.
You're really just losing Ransom and Carter, right?
Well, I don't include, but your whole secondary is what I was talking about.
Oh, the corners, yeah, for sure. Hancock, IGB, Denzel, they're all going to be gone.
Yeah, sure. Especially, I mean, if that's one thing, cornerbacks are just. They get drafted a lot of, I mean, you can just tell the value that they put on cornerbacks. Late rounds, I mean, cornerbacks are still going. That's who they take flyers on, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel good about all three of those getting drafted in the first couple rounds, frankly.
Right. So let's talk about the Buckeye draft picks first, and then we'll see. I was hoping Jeff would be on so we could get some feedback on other players outside of Ohio State players that we already know about. But let's talk about Marvin Harrison, the first Buckeye picked. Again, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. We did not expect him to go any lower, right? I mean, he ends up in Arizona. How do you feel about that, Shawn? You think that's a good fit with the little guy?
I don't like the little guy. I mean, I like him as a guy, but not as the quarterback of my team. I don't like him. I don't like Bryce Young. 6'2". I need my 6'1.5" is the lowest limit on any quarterback that I can get behind. And I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's been there, what's this going to be, his third or fourth year now? And yeah, I don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't like his game, but he'll be chucking it up there to Marv, kind of what McCord did. He's better than McCord. So, I mean,
Right.
things go swimmingly.
He's got better feet, that's for sure. So Marv is the highest drafted Buckeye wide receiver ever. Number 4 overall pick. That's impressive, I would say. In kind of a deep wide receiver draft, right? I mean, you got Neighbors from LSU came in.
Adunze.
He was like 2 picks later. Adunze is 3 picks later from Neighbors. So, yeah. And then who's this? Brian Thomas Jr. Oh, that's the other receiver from LSU. He got taken 23rd. So, and then Xavier Worthy goes 28th. So, and then you finish the draft, the first round, with 2 more. You got Pearsall out of Florida and Xavier Legette from South Carolina. So, right there,
Well, just a little note on the draft, and could be a little bit wrong here, but I think the first 13 or first 14 picks were all offense. That was kind of mind blowing.
14, yeah.
Has it ever? I mean, that's nuts. And then six quarterbacks went in the first round.
This was an offensive heavy draft. Next year is going to be more defense heavy. So, but yeah, you went quarterback, wide receiver, tackle, receiver, tackle, quarterback, receiver, quarterback, tackle, quarterback, tight end, tackle. The first 14. So
you know what's valued in that league,
right? Yeah. Plus the quality,
quarterbacks,
the quality,
left tackles, and wide receivers.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, you got quality top to bottom there, and then I mean, you finish up with 3 receivers in the last 5 picks. Xavier Worthy, that's a great get. I mean, like the Chiefs need another fucking weapon, right?
Yeah.
Pearsall went to the Niners. Legette, I don't know a lot about Legette out of South Carolina because he had Spencer Rattler thrown to him. So not too sure what to think about that. But yeah, other Buckeyes, and I want to get to Shawn's thoughts on the entire draft experience here in a sec. But as far as other Buckeyes go, you got we got a bunch of undrafted free agents we'll get to. Let's see. Mike Hall went. Let me scroll down here. Sorry. So
50-something.
Let's see. He went day 2, right? Yeah. No, number 54 pick overall was Mike Hall to the Browns. So the Cleveland area guy from Streetsboro goes to the Browns. That's probably a great pick for them. Then you got Cade Stover reuniting with CJ Stroud. How you like that? Down in Houston.
No, I think and I think both Hall and Stover were pretty jacked about what happened and the experience for them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's good. That's a good get for the Texans. I mean, Stover's just a workhorse.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, Ohio State has the most first-round receivers ever with 12, by the way. Most by any school. So, yeah, Cade goes pick number 123 overall to the Houston Texans with his guy, CJ. CJ and Cade, a lot of people don't know that they really got close, especially their last year together at Ohio State. So those guys, it's a weird match, right? The California kid, guy from Southern California, and then Farmer Gronk, as he's called. Being tight is one of those things you only see in college, right?
Yeah, I mean, because you're out there and you're putting in that work together and stuff. You're like,
Mhm. Yeah.
you got to
Yeah.
find something to hang on to, and that's how strong bonds are formed.
Yeah, exactly. Then the Raiders picked Tommy Eichenberg, known tough guy, middle linebacker. They need some toughness on that team, I'm sure. With pick number 148. So in the 5th round, Tommy Eichenberg goes to the silver and black. He'll look good in that jersey.
Keep your head out there in Vegas, Tommy. That'd be a tough place to get drafted, get all that money, and you're in Vegas. Oh, jeez.
He doesn't talk to anybody. It doesn't matter. So that's it. That's the list. 4 guys drafted.
Yeah, I think what did I read? First time in over a decade that we haven't at least had 5.
Yeah.
But we had so many. I mean, we've had so many returning that we could have easily got over 5. The guys that were eligible that said they're going to come back. JT and Jack would have both been drafted.
Yeah.
Another tackle would have been. Yeah.
Yeah. So a bunch of former Buckeyes signed UDFA contracts, undrafted free agents. I mean, you got guys like, remember Craig Young? Supposed to be the next Bullet or whatever the fuck. Javante Jean-Baptiste, he got drafted in the 7th round, actually. Ryan Watts, remember him, the corner, drafted in the 6th round out of Texas.
Javon Baptiste, he got drafted. Good for him. I always liked him.
Yeah. Didn't do much at Notre Dame, but I understand why he moved. Jalen Gill.
I mean, you say that, but it just got him drafted. It's hard to get drafted.
I know. But the thing is, when you're drafted in the 6th and 7th round, you could easily be cut. You're almost better off not getting drafted and then signing a free agent contract with the team you select. You get to pick where you go. Like, look at Jalen Gill here. He signed a contract with the Chargers. Remember him?
Yeah, but I guarantee every one of those kids that signed an undrafted free agent, they would have rather been drafted.
Oh, yeah. But still, you could end up in the 6th or 7th round and be on the practice squad before you know it. Sure. So Xavier Johnson signed with the Bills. Steele Chambers signed with the Lions. Matthew Jones signed with the Dolphins. Josh Proctor signs with the Jags. That's about it. So, yeah. So we'll get into some of the big names here in a sec, but I wanted to hear from you, Shawn. Like, what was the draft experience like, being boots on the ground kind of experience?
Yeah, so we kind of a little bit bailed on that, but Detroit brought it. So I mean, I don't know if any one of the listeners was watching Thursday night. I was at Poker League and we had it up on the TV. Just the amount of people. I heard it like broke records for attendance at a draft. Some people telling me like 270, 280,000 people down there. I mean, just packed. Then Friday nights, it was. We were right around the corner from there, and we were gonna walk over, but it was a little bit chilly out, and we were in a private room at the London Chop House, smoking cigars, drinking bourbon, and eating steaks. And like, hey, you guys want to go over there? And they're like, nah, we'll just keep it on this TV. So, but the whole downtown was nuts, absolutely nuts, especially Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, it just looked like a sea of humanity on TV. Like,
it was. I mean, it's risky business. I mean, April in Detroit, and it was.
You're not catching me down there.
And it was chilly to sit out there, and I mean, for hours and hours I can't get into the draft like that. I could never stand there for hours and hours unless my kid was someone that's going to be drafted. No,
Right.
I'm not into it. And it's a bunch of people walking across the stage that
Right.
you never heard of, or maybe the guys walking across the stage you heard of. But when your team gets into the second and third rounds, you don't know any of these guys are anymore unless they play
Yeah, day
some
2 and
team.
3 are useless. Like you're just seeing this shit being announced.
Yeah.
Nobody's
I mean,
coming on stage.
no, what they used a lot of like local folks to come up with
Right.
ties to the city
Right.
or
Yeah.
ties to the team that's that, and give them a second at the lectern
Right. But the players that are being drafted aren't there to even come on stage.
No, and they don't even pan to them or anything, like go to their home or anything like, hey, what do
Right.
you think about that? They tell you like their scouting
Mhm.
report on them and move on. But
Right.
so no, but the time at the London Chop House, I think was 10 times better than sitting out there. We had a big screen TV in our room, and the
There you
wine was
go.
flowing like beer and bourbon.
Oh, wait, what? Blowing like mud around here. Ooh-ah. I got the old lady to watch Son of a Woman a couple weeks ago. That was a huge coup, people. Anyway, so yeah. All right, sound like a good time being near the draft, but not in it. Seems like parking would have been hell.
Yeah, we
But
took a party bus down there. I
oh, okay.
mean,
What were you? Were you celebrating something? Why the party
no, he
bus?
just said, "Hey, this guy, because there's like a group of 10 of us, and he invited us down there, and so yeah, he's got a company not so far. He's like, hey, everybody meet here. Gonna go down. Got reservations. We walk in this nice place. These doors open up. We got our own room with like
Mm.
big, comfortable chairs. Um, we order, dozen or so steaks, all the appetizers, shrimp, and all that you want, and then yeah, then we were moving into some heavy bourbon. One guy was, ordering Angel's Envy one after another.
Mm.
I got into a few Jefferson's Ocean with another guy. A couple other guys were getting into the 1942 tequila. It was a
Oh, okay.
celebration, man. It was
Yeah. Celebrating the
uh,
draft
yeah.
while not being
I mean
in it.
that it felt like a draft war room.
Okay.
And so it's a bunch of guys that I didn't know many of them. So obviously in the crowd, not as many you'd think, but one really adamant Michigan fan.
Oh, those
But
are fun.
the rest were kind of, even the one other guy, he brought up the cheating. I think he's a Spartan fan.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I love when someone else brings it up. I
Right.
don't want to sound like sour
Makes it
grapes.
easier. Yeah.
It does.
But
I'm
then
like,
you can
he's like, yeah,
bandwagon
well,
with
they
them.
cheated. I'm like, they fucking cheated.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
right.
but yeah, really good time.
All right. So
Appreciate the host.
enjoying the draft like a normal person, kind of.
Well, and where we were at, you'd have to go out. We're going to use the restroom and walk through another area. I'm not sure who they were, but I'm pretty sure a couple other ex NFL linemen were up there enjoying some cigars themselves.
Nice. Nice. All right. So yeah, the cheaters got their 13 draft picks, lucky 13. You're welcome, Harbaugh. Did not break the record of 15, like we talked about, but I really think this Buckeye 2025 class is gonna be a fucking monster, man. Um, what where do you want to go, Shawn? You want to talk about anything else, or you want to go into more draft talk for 2025? I got nothing on 2024. I mean, I could pretend to tell you stuff about Caleb Williams. I could give you a quick 30 seconds or less on everybody in the first round. Caleb Williams, hate him.
Yeah.
He runs around playing backyard football. USC's offense is not a real offense. Jaden Daniels, fake Heisman, did not earn it. Played garbage teams, especially down the stretch. Boom, roasted. Drake May, what's this guy going to do? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, he's that prototypical NFL looking quarterback. I would think his game long term translates to that league better than most.
But he is the third best quarterback if you go by
No.
the draft. If you go by the draft.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't give a fuck about that draft. I think Caleb Williams, kind of like Bryce Young. I'm not touching Caleb Williams. No, thank you.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, you'd have thought people would have learned. It's like social media or just society itself has a thing about, oh, this is the best guy. You got to take him first. I feel like it's been that way for Caleb for a year. That, oh, you have to. And
Mhm.
I'm with you. I just don't see it. And I certainly didn't see it in Bryce Young either.
Right. Well, they're going to pay the price for that terrible pick in Carolina.
Oh
little
yeah,
guy.
that's setting them back big time.
Yep. So, Jaden Daniels, thoughts on him? We can run through this first round real quick.
I don't have many thoughts on Jaden Daniels. I mean, I know his stats, know his Heisman. I didn't watch him much. I really didn't. Or the receiver that I know was a stud. I just don't have much that I saw in those guys. So I hear mixed things, but I kind of don't have a big opinion either way on him.
Yeah. All right. Marvin Harrison goes fourth. That's probably a very safe pick, I would say. Safe in like the most productive way possible. So don't ask me about how any of these teams rosters lay out for next year. I don't care. But I would say getting a first round Marvin Harrison Jr. on your team has to help things quickly. If you have the O line, we know they got Paris Johnson Jr. So yeah, I think they're good. Chargers get Joe Alt from Notre Dame. That's obviously a plug and play line left tackle. So Harbaugh obviously going after the playmakers that he loves so much, linemen.
Well, I would you can't go wrong taking. I mean, that's always the default pick. You always need linemen, good old linemen. So yeah, to me that's a good pick. I thought JJ's on the board at this point, and I'm like, what? I was kind of surprised Harbaugh didn't take JJ, his boy.
Yeah.
But I did hear a rumor on a local radio thing that, and I don't know where it came from or whatever, but that there was some talk about dealing Herbert.
For JJ or just
Yeah,
dealing?
I mean, dealing drafting JJ, dealing Herbert for a bunch more draft picks and stuff like that, and kind of building,
Okay.
Harbaugh's coming in there brand new. I think
Yeah.
he's going to have a couple years to make things happen before he gets on the hot seat out there.
Now, is he calling the shots there, you think, personnel-wise? Because I don't know these things. Kind of seems that way, right? I mean, he's front-facing. He's in front of the media during the draft and stuff, right? So
I would think heavily involved, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was interesting that Penix went before JJ. Was that weird? Penix, the history of injuries, lefty. It's got
to a team that just signed a quarterback for $180 million. I thought that was really interesting.
I don't go that deep into it. I just look at the players, how they were in college. But yes, also a left-handed quarterback in Atlanta named Michael.
There you go.
Yeah. Think about that shit. Think about that shit. But yeah, so then you go Adunze, the other receiver, and then JJ at 10. Again, I don't know how anybody can judge how good a quarterback JJ McCarthy is because he's never shown a need. He's never been asked to be a quarterback. It's a turn around, hand the ball off kind of situation for 4 years. So I don't know. Wake me up when he throws has to engineer a 2-minute offense into a winning situation. I don't think it happens. What else? Oh, Bo Nix. Bo Nix. I'm a huge Bo Nix guy. And by that, I mean the worst fan ever. He goes to Denver. Obviously, I never liked that dude.
I know you've never liked Bo Nix. I don't know why.
He's another dude. Like, he doesn't do anything.
He's
impressive.
a dude that just got drafted in the first round of the NFL.
I know. That's fine. That you do realize that these NFL scouts miss at least half the time, if not more.
Well, quarterbacks
on all their
for
picks.
Sure. I mean,
on all their
quarterbacks
picks too.
Quarterbacks especially, though. I think it's. Oh, I told my son, 6 quarterbacks just got picked. I'm like, 4 of those guys are going to be bums.
Yeah, easily. I would put Bo Nix in that category. He could be a lifelong backup. That's how I picture it. Brock Bowers goes to the
best job. What? That's the best job.
Sure, yeah, I would do it. I mean, hand me a clipboard and a fucking hat. Yep. But then you got Brock Bowers going to the Raiders out of Georgia, first tight end taken. So they never reach. They never take people before they should. So I don't know. I know Brock Bowers is probably the best tight end in the draft. So look forward to not watching the Raiders this year again. Who else here? Got some linemen I don't care about. Dallas Turner from Bama, edge rusher, goes to the Vikings. Seems like a good pick.
Good props to my corner out of Toledo.
There you go. Quinyon Mitchell, best corner in the draft. First corner taken, by the way.
I think he was the fastest kid in the draft too, wasn't
he? Yeah, 4.33. So yeah.
I thought I heard something too where I don't know if it was before last year, a couple years ago, when NIL came, says they were trying to get that kid to come to Bama.
Yeah, fucking Saban said that out loud.
Yeah.
Live on TV. Dumbass, what are you doing?
Oh yeah,
we tried to get him out of the portal, but he wouldn't get in the portal. Well, hey, do you know how to spell tampering? Anyway, doesn't matter. Everybody's doing it. We're all cool. It's all good. Backwards handshaking motherfuckers. Terrion Arnold, the corner from Bama, goes to Detroit. Who else here? Nobody that really stands out to me. Xavier Worthy, I talked about, from Texas, going to KC. I don't think his mom's that hot. I mean, she's hot, but like Josh Gaddis lost Xavier Worthy to Michigan over her. I'm not impressed. It seems like he might have saved his job if he didn't bang Xavier Worthy's mom. Anyways,
he's the one that bowled into Miami, right? Speed and Space.
Well, he got fired, then got hired at Miami. Now is at Maryland, and who knows where he will end up next. Yeah, Speed and Space. Apparently, he tried that with Xavier's mom. I don't know. Maybe it didn't work out. Then Ricky Pierce out of Florida, going to the Niners. Yeah, so that first round, yeah, none of these guys really grabbed my fucking chain. Like I said,
I don't know by what metric it was on, but I was just in the car a little bit earlier, and they threw out. I don't know who did it, but the value, like who had. I mean, they grade the draft on value when you got guys when you should have. I don't know if they take what your team's got or whatever, but yeah, hands down, yeah, Atlanta got the worst. And on that thing, Detroit Lions got the best.
Okay.
Telling you, Lions. They got a pretty sweet general manager at the Lions. Brad Holmes' his name, I think.
Yeah. They got Spiels in the front office. That's all that matters. Football guy, in case you didn't know.
And their coach is a football guy.
Huge football guy. I think those guys probably have like bench press competitions.
I know.
When nobody's around.
If you see Spielman and him walk into a bar, though, it's like, yeah, I ain't gonna mess with those two.
No. I'll buy you a drink or a water. They walk around with cutoff sweatshirts and shit. But all right, let's pop in the chat and see what's going on, Shawn. Maybe they'll steer us in a direction that is more fun than this draft bullshit. All right.
Well,
so I asked the chat.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So let's see what kind of reactions we get. Let's see. We got Odysseus. I think Odysseus might have been the first man in. Oh, wait, I can't see. My question is blocking whoever came in first. Sorry, can't see it. So credit to you, and then Odysseus second. JW says, I heard Jihad Carter hit the transfer portal. Yes, I have confirmed that, and you are correct. Thank you for alerting me there. We may have to hit the transfer portal for just some safety depth, honestly. Not starters. Okay, don't anybody freak out. I know we got Ransom and Downs, but we need some depth. I'm not a big Hartford guy. See the Michigan game last year, but he's been injured all spring, so we may have to hit the portal for some safety depth. Where's my? Yeah, here we go. My trusty scholarship grid. Yeah, we got all freshmen outside of Downs and Hartford, and Downs and Hartford are only going into their second year. Bonzu's a redshirt freshman, so he's going into his second. They didn't play it all last year. Then you got true freshman McClain, and then Al Roker's coming in summer. You big Al Roker guy, Shawn?
No. I mean, but I preferred big Al. I would say I preferred big Al Roker over skinny Al Roker.
Yeah. He seemed to be a better cook back then, huh?
Kind of same for Al Sharpton. I like Al Sharpton with the gold chains and sweatpants and shit.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Well, same for
some dudes just look good fat, man. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you look like a deflated balloon at some point, right? But all right. Now that we hammered that one. Odysseus says the cheaters had 13 mostly late rounds. So much for Hairball's 20 prediction. Exactly. They were a lot of late round picks. You notice that, Shawn?
Yeah. Solid guys. We'll see. But I don't think I actually think it was a reach on Roman Wilson. I don't know. Could he be like nothing stands out that he's that good at to me. But again, that goes to show you all those wide receivers being taken. I mean, wide receivers, corners, left tackles. It seemed like that's what the draft is.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to pull up the draft by school, but yeah, I feel like I'll get to it later. Anyways, yeah, a lot of late picks, probably all linemen for the most part, Roman Wilson types, you know. Those guys will probably get cut at some point or sent down to the practice squad, whatever. But Jeremiah says Tyvis Powell had the interception of his life in the game, giving Ohio State 43-42 win over Scum. Yes, he did. That's good recall. Odysseus says our record is 14. Yeah, right. I'm talking about we're going to break the record for the entire college football across the country. Yeah, our record is 14. Had that, what was it, 2004, I think? Yeah, I think we hit it in 2004. And then 18 years later, Georgia broke it with 15 in 2022. So, yeah, it lasted a while. Odysseus says, yes, the Buckeyes will break the record for the most draft picks in 2025. That's one.
All right, are we getting into this now because I don't see it. I don't think so.
Okay.
And I don't think it's even
Yeah,
gonna be
well,
close.
let me plow through the chat and we can debate that. Stephen Cherry says, yes, should break it. Odysseus says the cheaters players will all be busts, calling it right now. All of them. Yeah, I'm on board with about 50% of those guys at least. Blake Corum, that dude have any fucking tread left on his tires? No. Some of those linemen are 25 years old and they didn't make it into the league before. They didn't even try to go. Jeremiah says, yes, the Buckeyes will break the record. Odysseus says, can't know the opponent's plays in the NFL. That's a good point. There is no Connor Stallions in the NFL as far as we know. Odysseus says, me too, Steven, nearly. Oh, wait, I skipped Steven. He says, it made me sick watching the NFL parade the cheaters out before the second round of the draft. They brought the team out? They brought Michigan out there?
They brought
you
some
saw
of the
that?
players up. Yep.
Fucking puke. Yeah. I'm with you guys. I would have puked too. Glad I wasn't watching. Could we just have more Eminem? Let's just have the Eminem. Let's just make Eminem all the first round. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He doesn't live there, right, folks? Just I'm saying that to the people in the crowd at the draft who aren't listening. Anyway, Odysseus says the Bills traded that pick to the Chiefs too. Made no sense. For shit. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Texas pick. I mean the Chiefs pick of Xavier Worthy from Texas. Yes, that was weird that Buffalo traded that one just to screw themselves again. Odysseus says Stover gets to catch balls from CJ this year. Exactly. Yeah, they're going to have a nice little duo going on down there. Odysseus says Tommy in silver and black is interesting. Oh, it's very interesting to me. Let me tell you that. For that one game a year that I watch. Hopefully it's a home game because I like the black jerseys better. Steven says, surprised nobody took Proctor in the late rounds. What do you think, Shawn?
Yeah, I've always been a Proctor guy, and I thought coming in that he would have been a highly regarded safety. And I'm a little bit surprised too. And I could see Proctor. I don't know who he went with. I know you said it earlier, but I think he can work his way onto a team. I like Proctor. I like his game, like his attitude.
Yeah,
he had some
I think the
ups and
Jags
downs,
got him.
Injuries. But
yeah,
I'm surprised as well that he didn't go.
Yeah. Let's see. Odysseus says last time we had this few picks, we won the Natty the next year. Sign me up. Sign me up. Let's have no picks ever. If that's the way it's going to work. Steven says Harbaugh loves JJ so much. What? I'm joking.
No picks,
I know
no
it.
one's coming.
Yeah. Steven says Harbaugh loves JJ so much that he chose Herbert over him. Yeah, he did. Badass Buckeye, what's up, Bab? Badass Buckeye says, what's up, Buckeyes? I'm glad Mike Hall went to the Browns. That's an interesting pick for the Browns. I don't know what their needs are. Tommy Togia, I think, was the last Buckeye D tackle to go there. Didn't really pan out. I don't know what he's up to, but I don't think he's on the team, that's for sure. But I expect big things from Mike Hall. Second round pick. Come on. What's funny is he was like in the recruiting rankings coming out of high school, he was like 52, 53 ranked overall. And now he got drafted to like 54. So kind of nailed that one, didn't they? Odysseus says the Vikings GM and coach about to be fired in 2 years max.
I don't know. JJ's
Okay.
got all those weapons up there now. Jefferson. And
Yeah. So how long is he going to sit though? Right? Does he have a quarterback in front of him?
I don't know. They dished Cousins to Atlanta. I think it's going to be JJ's job.
Oh fuck! That's a recipe for disaster. I don't care what kind of weapons you got. Um, I'm with Odysseus there. I think that's a big problem. Steven says Roger Goodell sounded like he had a few drinks prior to the draft, slurring words. I didn't catch that, but good for him. I would too. It's just the one time a year you have to be on stage. That's all. When I get wasted.
I think it was
Um,
really bad with him. They said during the COVID year when he had to do it from home or whatever, he was a little bit
right.
sloppy on that night.
Hey, home stadium.
Right?
I would sprinkle my drink nonstop. Let's see. Odysseus says I wouldn't be shocked if all 6 QBs in the first round are busts. I'm with you there, man. I haven't seen shit from any of those 6 that impressed me. I watch college football. You guys know that. I don't watch NFL. I watch college football, and just those squirrely running around. Yes, you're extending a play. I get it. That's key. It's important to make the play, make something happen when there's nothing there. But some of these guys, they're not the answer. Excuse me. Odysseus says Hairball wanted GM power. That's part of why he didn't get the Vikings job after 2021 and the Broncos after 22. Okay. Well, he got it now, right? Good for him. What could go wrong? Steven says Justin Fields going to be throwing to soft Roman Wilson, SMH. Roman Wilson is fucking soft.
I know he's a punk. I don't like him.
Odysseus says Wilson should have sniffed second round, overrated as fuck. Yep. Josh says it's been a long time since I got to watch. Been working out of state on oil refining. Wow, that's hard
Welcome
work,
back.
man. Yeah, appreciate you, Josh. That oil work is no joke. Who was I talking to the other day?
Well,
Matthew.
did you see?
Our guy Matthew up in the 419. He lays concrete. That's fucking work too, man. You won't catch me doing that shit.
You just see what popped up,
I don't have
Stephen
the back for
Cherry?
that.
Look at this
Well,
latest chat. If that's true, they said the
no,
NFL approved those padded helmets. Is that you talking about the ones that go over the helmet? That's
I hadn't
nuts.
heard that. That seems excessive, doesn't it?
I mean,
And another reason to not watch the NFL, if you needed one, folks. Stephen Cherry, for those listening, not watching, in the live chat, Stephen Cherry says, "Did you hear about NFL approving those padded helmets during the games? Players will be wearing flags soon." No, I didn't. I didn't hear about that. I didn't know that was even a thing. Now I'm gonna have to look it up, man. Soft shell
yikes.
helmets.
You'll see them in, practices, scrimmage, stuff like that. But I think I've ever seen one in a game.
This says during games, NFL will allow players to wear protective soft shell helmet covers during games. And these are exactly what you're thinking of. This is from the AP, so I don't know. Is the AP still legit? Seems like all the news outlets are full of shit nowadays. So I don't know. Take that for what you will. Anyways, says that they're known as the Guardian caps. The NFL announced on Friday, just this past weekend, it will allow players to wear protective soft shell helmet covers known as Guardian caps during games next season if they choose.
I don't think anybody's going to get on board with that right away.
Oh, you don't want to be the first guy out there with the big head. No. Um, they're also expanding the use of the devices during practice. Now that makes sense. Yeah. Defensive backs and receivers have joined the position groups, now required to wear the caps during all contact practices. Okay. So now they're requiring it. Seems like this must be in agreement with the union, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Player safety and, but
Yeah.
again, I just wonder who's going to be wearing it during the game.
Yeah. So the point is,
maybe if you've been off for 2 weeks on a concussion and it's your first game back, maybe you see a guy throwing on or something. I don't know.
Right. So no players are going to be required to wear the caps during games, but they now have the option. Again, to Steven's point, they will be wearing flags soon. Yeah.
But all that trickles down, man.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we saw it in the spring game. A bunch of players had the caps on. Sam Williams-Dixon, I remember specifically. I think Denzel Burke might have. Multiple people in the Ohio State spring game were wearing. Not that that's bad. In a spring game, it's a practice. I get it. Why waste your brain in practice? So
they just look so big. I mean, can you move around with those things?
Seems like it's just a little bit extra weight on your head, right? Anyway, so would you want to go back to the 2025 draft for Ohio State? Is that what you want to
Yeah, so it looks like everybody thinks we will break that record. And my only question is, where? We're going to have one wide receiver eligible. We're going to have no quarterbacks to get drafted. Our O-line isn't going to be, maybe you'll get one or two out of there. Are we expecting both Trey and Quinshon to go next year? Potentially.
Let's break it down. I think we definitely will have a quarterback drafted, and it'll be Will Howard. Devin Brown will be eligible, but assuming Will Howard wins the job and plays the entire year as expected, then Devin Brown's not going to jump in the draft. He might jump in the portal before he jumps in the draft, right?
I don't know. Your expectations are that high for Howard that you think he turned himself into a draft pick?
Well, I'm trying to paint a picture. Well, he's on NFL boards now. He's a late round pick. That's why he chose to come back and go to Ohio State, to boost his draft stock. He was a 5, 6, 7 round pick before leaving K-State. So probably smart of him to go to a quarterback-friendly school with a quarterback-friendly coach like a Ryan Day that can boost your stock. So yeah, I'm not saying that Will Howard has the job right now. All signs are pointing that direction, but even still, even if Devin Brown won the job in fall camp, he's probably not going to leave and go to the draft just after 3 years, right? I mean, you'd have to have a crazy, year, like Wayne Haskins.
Yeah, he'd have to go off.
Yeah,
but I kind of feel the same. I kind of feel the same thing about Will Howard, though.
Well, he has to go. Choice.
Yeah, but I mean, he better have a real good year.
It's just about draft picks, Shawn. It's not about being first round.
Yeah, but
get drafted in the 7th round draft. I think Will Howard definitely gets drafted. Let's go running backs. Trey and Judkins, I think, unless, again, let's not factor in injury. We can't assume anything. I think Trey definitely goes. He kind of has to. He does have to. There's no kind of. And Judkins is in his 3rd year after taking, over 500 carries at Ole Miss. Now he's splitting time, sure, but I think he has to go because of the low value that the NFL puts on running backs, right?
Well, I guess that'll be dependent on the amount of carries he gets, right?
Well, even still, why would he
if he doesn't
stay?
put, well, because Trey will be gone and then he'll be feature back number one.
Yeah, but then you got Peoples and Williams-Dixon coming up behind him. They're going to split carries with him, one of them at least. It's not like Judkins is all of a sudden going to be like the guy. That's why he came to Ohio State, to share carries. I think they both go. I think Judkins definitely could go to the league. Probably could have gone this year if he was able. So that's 3 picks right there. Howard, Henderson, Judkins. Wide receivers. No to Jaden Ballard. Emeka for sure. Yep. He's a first rounder. That's probably it for wide receivers. Then you got tight end G. Scott. He's a draft pick. Not saying he's not a draft pick. Yeah, he's a draft pick.
I don't think so. That guy hadn't even done nothing.
Not as it stands today. He's got a whole season to go. I mean, all these guys have a whole year in front of them. I think G's a 6th or 7th rounder. 5th at best.
He better have a real good year. I'm talking about right now, like what these guys. Well, I don't know. When they all can't shit the bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's see. That gives us 4, 5. That's the only tight end I see going. O-line, Josh Fryer has to go. Seth McLaughlin has to go. I think being a center for Ohio State and Alabama probably gets you into the draft easily with McLaughlin. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. McLaughlin probably, and Donovan Jackson probably be my 2.
Fryer has to go.
He has to go, but I don't think he's going to be drafted.
Wow. 2-year starter at right tackle at Ohio State doesn't get you drafted.
I don't know. You go back and listen to your tape on him. You hate the guy. I mean, what are you talking about here?
Talking about getting drafted I don't have to like every draft pick that comes out of Ohio State.
But yeah, I mean,
while we're at it, Josh Simmons, he's a 4th-year junior. He could fucking go. 2 years starting at left tackle.
Right?
They could be lower picks. Doesn't I didn't say that.
They probably will go, frankly, in the garbage rounds, because like I said, you can't really go wrong taking no linemen.
Especially tackles. You got to block those DNs, man.
Well,
Simmons,
can't.
A lot of coaches, some of the right. Some of the Ohio State staff actually thinks that Josh Simmons is the best lineman on the team. Now, that might be a sliding scale. That might be a little bit of a curve there. But so let's see. You got Howard, Henderson, Judkins, Emeka, that's 4, G. Scott 5. I go Fryer, McLaughlin, that's 7, and Josh Simmons is going to have a decision to make. So possibly 8 real possibilities. Then you got on defensive ends, Mitchell Melton has to go. Unfortunately, he's not going to get drafted. Jack and JT definitely get drafted. It's just a matter of how high.
I agree.
So that's 2 more. I don't see anybody else from the DN class running up.
Oh.
Kenyatta and Caden aren't going to get enough snaps. Then you got D tackles, Ty Hamilton, Tyleek Williams. Both will get drafted. Ty Hamilton's so reliable and productive. He actually has better stats than Mike Hall last year. In tackles, TFLs, and sacks. Then Tyleek, we know what Tyleek brings. So that's 2 more guys off. Cody Simon at linebacker for sure, getting drafted.
No, not getting drafted.
Why not?
Well, why? Look,
he started 2 years at middle linebacker at Ohio State.
When?
Just say that out loud. 2021. He played the entire season. He's going to start this year.
Well, guess who didn't just get drafted? Steel Chambers.
Yeah, I hear you.
And he couldn't beat him out. And he couldn't. And your guy went in the
that's a
5th
different
round.
position.
And
that's a different position.
Your guy went in the 5th round, Eichenberg. He'd be real lucky to sneak in the back end of that draft. I don't see it. Not for linebacker. No.
Okay. All right, we're still sitting at 12 without Cody Simon.
You're 12. I'd put you probably about 10, but
okay. We haven't even gotten to the secondary yet, but we'll get there. Linebackers then, CJ Hicks, Sonny Styles. Anything grab you there? One person hasn't started a game.
Is Sonny even eligible yet?
Yeah, this is his 3rd year.
Oh, yeah. So they'll both be after this year.
Maybe a coin flip between the 2 of them. I don't know.
No, I don't think
Sonny's
Hicks will.
Changing positions.
I don't think either one will go in the draft next year. I think at some point they're both going to be drafted guys. But I don't think they're going to be in next year's draft.
Okay.
Unless one of them just totally goes off and dominates. And that could change things, but
all right, that's 12.
But who's playing? You just said John Simon, Styles, and Hicks.
Cody Johnson.
That's too many. That's too many dudes for too few spots.
Well, it looks right now that CJ is going to be the will. Sonny's going to play a lot, but he's not going to be at the will. Who knows how the scheme is going to work out? But Sonny's going to be on the field, probably more as a Sam linebacker, which means they're going to take Hancock off the field occasionally when Sonny comes on. But so we got 12. Let's say no linebackers get drafted on the outside shot. Okay. Then you got Burke, Hancock, Igbenogson, all 3 of those guys. And Burke is probably going to be the first Buckeye picked in next year's draft, probably top 10. So that's 15. IGB will get drafted. He's got the length. He's physical. He loves to get his hands on you. Hancock, lockdown, slot corner, also can play outside at 6'1". Don't forget, he's not a little slot corner, little tiny 5'11" guy, 5'10" guy. He's 6'1", and he'll come up and help in run support. So I got 15 right there. We haven't even gotten to Lathan Ransom at 16. He's definitely getting drafted. 16, and I really think Cody Simon's getting drafted. So 17. I have 18 total picks. Yeah.
18.
And that's leaving, if you leave CJ and Sonny and Devin Brown out of the equation, I got 18 going. I got McLaughlin. O-line, I got Donovan Jackson, McLaughlin, Fryer, and Simmons all going.
Our O-line is NFL caliber.
4 of them. Enough to get drafted in 7 rounds. 7 rounds. I'm not saying people are going to trade up and try and get these guys, but I think you're going to see a much improved O-line over this coming season, and it's going to be enough to get these guys drafted. The 2 of them have to go. 3, actually. Donovan Jackson's a 3-year starter. You know,
Yeah,
him,
let's kick some ass this
McLaughlin,
year, O-line. Hey, if you're right, that means really good things happen to us or for us this next
Simmons
year.
is the only one that you could leave out of that group, like at all.
I don't know. I
He
would
could
put
come back.
Simmons over Fryer.
Okay. Well, there's 4 O linemen I got going. I think at least 3 go easily. So that gives us 18. And that, if you want to flip a coin between CJ and Sonny and see what happens, I mean, that's 19. That's the record. That is a new bar.
What's the
I
record?
love this bar.
15?
Yeah.
I can see us hitting it now that you lay it out, but not your number. If we could like maybe tie it, maybe 16.
Yeah.
I mean
That's a low bar. That's like the low end.
that's a half of a round of the whole draft or Buckeyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, legit. Back to the chat here before we shut her down. Odysseus says Howard, Trey, Judkins, Burke, JT, Sawyer, Hicks, Styles, IGB, Simmons, McLaughlin, Igbuka, Tyleek, Scott, Curry, Jackson. Wow. He's got 16. Hamilton makes 17. Simon makes 18 for him. Odysseus says Hancock makes 19 and Ransom makes 20. So Odysseus has 20. He hits Harbaugh's number. I love it. That's the goal we should be aiming for, Shawn. Not 15. Forget 15. 20. Fucking 20. Come with 20.
He's got Hayden Curry and Kenyatta Jackson.
Yeah, I know. They're juniors, but haven't
I
played a
mean, I
lot.
know they could, and they will, and they are going to look good. But I think much like JT and Jack, I think they'll both come back the following year to throw up big time
Mhm.
numbers and try and get
Yeah,
drafted high.
yeah, you got to. Same with Hicks and Styles. I don't think either one of those guys goes unless they just blow up, like crazy. But you can't expect that. You can predict it,
Yeah,
you can expect it. So that's interesting. I think we break the record regardless. We definitely hit 60 to break the record. But Georgia is also going to have a huge class coming in 2025 too. So they could break their own record. Let's see. But I got nothing else, Shawn. Anything else you want to cover? That's the extent of my draft knowledge in NFL crap.
oh yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
All right, well, I'm glad you had a good time near the draft. Um, I think you're probably the only ones at the draft having bourbon and cigars. That did not look like a good time to me. Standing in the streets of Detroit. I could think
And
of
it
about a
wasn't
hundred
and
other
it
places.
and it wasn't real warm. It was windy.
Yeah. Hey, you got all that body heat down there. So a bunch of dudes being dudes on dudes. I'm sure there weren't too many chicks out there. I hope not. Look like a prison outfit.
I mean,
But
I
all
probably
right.
should on Saturday, the last round. It looked like it was actually tolerable. There was a lot more space. You saw people walking around, like almost like a
Mhm.
festival thing. Not a, you had a crowd up by the podium still, but not big, not anywhere near as
Mhm.
big. And
Yeah.
that probably would have been cool to just go down to and take the kid, but I didn't.
I wonder how many people came from out of town, like flew in, not drove in from an hour away, but like flew in. That
I
seems like
think a
waste of time.
bunch. I think a bunch. I think,
Wow.
they've Goodell or whoever's done a really good job of hyping up this thing in the off season. It's frankly ridiculous. But yeah, Detroit broke the record. There was, like I said, 275,000 people at that draft or something.
Yeah.
Traffic around here sucks, and I'm out in the burbs, but it sucked for the last few days.
Mhm. Okay. Well, hey, we appreciate everybody joining us. I got nothing else for tonight. So, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to take a couple of weeks off. There's not much going on. If something pops up, obviously, I will be here to talk about it. And we'll see if we need to have a Sunday show about it. I'll keep doing the Friday shows because we have a lot of recruiting going on, and we need to talk about that on Friday shows. And you'll have your daily blitz every single day. You know that. I'm coming up on year 3 of just the daily blitz. This is season 9 of the Sunday night show. We're coming up on 3 years of the daily show, the daily Buckeye Blitz. So hope you guys are enjoying that shit. As always, I appreciate you. Thanks for riding with us. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, por favor. And we'll see you tomorrow on the Daily Blitz. If we can get Jeff and Shawn in on a Friday for the Friday show for anything big and newsworthy, we'll do that. But until then, Henry, appreciate you.
Sir.
Talk to you later. Go Bucks.